Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. This is your no-nonsense guide to the ARCHON Easter egg in Vanguard Zombies. First, you need to pick up the two Pack-a-Punch parts that the game is going to indicate on your screen, which are on the left and right-hand sides of the map. When you've grabbed them both, return to the Pack-a-Punch area and start the ritual, and then kill all the zombies that are there. When complete, your screen will flash white, and there'll then be a load of dialogue. You're going to need to wait for a little plinth to appear in the center of that area, and then you're going to place a mirror on it by holding square on it. Then wait a little bit longer, more dialogue, and a portal will spawn in that same area. Teleport through the portal and then survive for about a minute in the dark ether. You'll eventually be downed automatically by the game, but don't worry, you're not going to lose a self-revive. It's meant to happen, and you then just need to wait for it to teleport you back out to continue the Easter egg. There are now going to be 3 rituals around the map that you need to complete. They all work differently, but you can do them in any order. We're going to start with the one that's near the blue and red perk fountains, and to begin this, you need to shoot the glowing crystals that are slightly outside of the map until you spawn in a red orb. As you can see here, I got it on my first go, but here are 2 other locations that you might need to shoot in order to get the orb in your game. If you still don't get it from those, keep looking around for those crystals outside the map. Once the orb is spawned in and you've held square on it, follow me to the yellow perk fountain and grab this skull from on the table. It'll stop you from sprinting, and you then need to run while being aware of the fact that there's a challenge on the left-hand side of your screen back to that red orb and place the item into the orb. When you've done that, you can then grab another item, and this one is near Speed Cola, the green perk fountain. It's a hat located on the table. Once again, you're not going to be able to sprint, and you're going to have a challenge on the left side of your screen to keep in mind while you run back to the red orb. When you've placed the item inside, you'll have your third item to grab, and this one is dug up, so we're going to need a shovel for it. There's a shovel here right by Speed Cola, but there's plenty of other shovels around the map as well. Grab any shovel and then go to the train area of the map where the stamina up perk fountain is, and in the very back area, dig up the dig site, and you should find a cursed femur that you then again need to return to the red orb. Upon completion, the decimator shield will drop down just next to you, so grab that and then run over to the obelisk in that area and hold square on it to start the trial. You'll be on a time limit now, and you'll need to destroy these pillars of heads by using the shield blast, that's L2, and then run over to the remaining stump, hold square on it to grab a chalice, and return that to a new perk fountain that's unfilled located just here. It takes 30 seconds for your shield to recharge, so wait for that to happen, and then do the same thing again with the next column of heads. When that's done, grab the chalice, return it to the perk fountain, and then repeat until you've destroyed all of those columns of heads in the area. In solo, there are 4. When that's complete, you'll have finished the challenge, you'll get a bunch of free stuff from it, and you can move on to the next one. To do the next challenge, you're going to need 3 Molotovs, which you can actually buy as a wall buy on the kind of middle right-hand side of the map, and you're also going to need Ring of Fire equipped as your field upgrade. You can switch mid-game, just go into the menu and reselect your class with Ring of Fire enabled, and it will swap over to it. Throw your 3 Molotovs in a row very quickly at these 3 unlit torches. You need to be rapid here. If you fail, just go buy more Molotovs and try again. If done successfully, a red orb will fly over to near the obelisk, and you'll then need to feed the orb a Pack-a-Punched weapon. If you're fairly early in your game, you should be able to buy a packed weapon off the wall. I'm buying this blue weapon here that's already Pack-a-Punched for only 4,000 points, so I'm saving the cost of the weapon and then Pack-a-Punching by about 2k, which is really handy. Feed it the packed weapon, kill the guy that spawns in, and you'll then be able to go over to the obelisk and hold square to start the trial. When the trial begins, stand near the obelisk and get kills kind of on that train, and if you get enough kills in that area specifically near the obelisk, then you'll get a full power, which will mean that your Ring of Fire is charged, and you then need to run over to one of the other obelisks around the area, use your Ring of Fire on it, and shoot about 7 to 8 zombies. This will cause a beam to fly towards the central obelisk, and you then need to go back to the central obelisk, shoot zombies until you get a full power once again, and then do the exact same thing with another one of the obelisks in the area. Here's a clip of me doing my final obelisk, so I got another full power, I went to the final one, used Ring of Fire, shot 7 zombies, and then with 4 beams in the area, in solo, you'll have completed the challenge, and it will give you a load of rewards like before. For the 3rd trial, we're going to need the shovel once again, so make sure you've grabbed that in your game if you haven't already, and then run over to the obelisk, which is located behind Pack-a-Punch, and dig in the dig sites in that area until a red orb flies out of the ground. Now, you want to make sure that you're doing this next step when you've either got only 1 zombie left if you're in solo, or you've got a friend holding the zombie if you're in co-op. Hold square on the orb on the wall, and it will show you 3 symbols in a row. You need to memorize what these symbols are, and then straight away in that area, those same symbols and a bunch of other symbols will spawn on the floor. You need to stand on the symbols and completely charge them in the order that the game showed you. And if you fail, you're going to have to go to the next round here, so make sure that you take a note of the symbols as they appear on your screen. Once you've charged up those 3 symbols, you'll then have a new trial to do. It might be don't take damage for 1 minute, it might be if you move you take damage, it might be you need to get kills in order to regain regen your health, all sorts of stuff like that. So read the prompt on the left-hand side of the screen, and then just complete that in the minute time slot that you've been given. And you'll then need to repeat the whole symbols exercise another time with an extra symbol being added this time. Now, if you need a breather, you can go do other things. You can come back. You can do it the next round. It's all good. Repeat that whole process, and then you'll need to do it again, this time with 5 symbols, even more symbols being given to you. So note down those symbols that you're shown on the wall, and then re-enter them by charging those same symbols in that same order on the floor. You'll get a trial. You need to complete that little trial, and then when that's done, you can go over to the obelisk and activate your final trial out of all of this. This is going to make you charge up symbols on the floor without damaging zombies around you, and the way I recommend you do this is use Zabala to stun the zombies and then run to the other side of the area and just charge whatever symbol is there. Take your time here. You can kill 1 or 2 zombies if you absolutely must, but try not to. Charge those symbols, and once you've completed it, you'll again get rewards from the obelisk, and you'll be done with your 3 main trials. This will reactivate the portal we went through at the start of the Easter egg near the Pack-a-Punch machine, but I recommend before you go through it, you gear up completely. So you get tier 3 armor, you max out your jug potentially. You also want to upgrade your weapon as much as you can, but I wouldn't bother with any special equipment like monkey bombs. They're not going to be useful for this. And finally, in terms of weapon choice before going into this boss fight here, some people like to buy the weapon off the wall in the fight because we've obviously been using our shotgun the whole game, and the shotgun is close range, but I actually like the close range of the shotgun. I think it does really good damage. It's really consistent, so that's going to be my main weapon of choice for the entire fight. When you enter the boss fight, I recommend you keep an eye out for crystals on the floor. Shoot these and you'll get a little crystal or a little pebble that will spawn out of them that you'll be able to pick up. You can then throw these at the plants in that area, and then after about 30 seconds, the plant will spit back out a charged up crystal. And so I recommend while you're working through this first stage of the boss fight, you keep trying to get those charged up crystals in your inventory because they're going to be useful for stages 2 and 3 of the boss. The main way it works is there's a summon attack, which is going to summon zombies around you, and I recommend you shoot the pest zombies to destroy the others. It's just going to make your life easier. You're also going to get a big ball of electricity attack, which is something that you just need to avoid, but it moves very slowly. And then there'll be lots of smaller balls of electricity sometimes, which you just need to make sure you don't run into. Amongst all of that, there's no wipe mechanic here unless you like jump off the map or something, so don't do that. But you just need to find opportunities to shoot Cortifex in this particular part of his head. It's quite slow going. He's going to take a lot of damage here, but work on through it. Make sure that you're prioritizing your safety above all else, and eventually you will get into the next stage of the boss fight, which is going to move you to a different area. First, though, you'll have a quick breather to potentially go and refresh your armor if you want to. You can use the Pack-a-Punch machine, stuff like that. Then you'll teleport out, and the next stage of the boss fight will begin. It's here that those charged up crystals are useful. If you throw a charged crystal at one of the triangular rocks in the air above you, it will initiate the damage phase for phase 2 of the boss. Cortifex will no longer be impervious, and he'll drop down for you to shoot him in his new weak point. So use up those crystals that we saved from phase 1, and keep creating new charged crystals by throwing those rocks that you get out of the red shards at the plants and then waiting 30 seconds. I really like the shotgun for doing damage here. I think that it's extremely effective in this part of the fight, and eventually you'll get a little breather, and then you'll teleport into the 3rd phase of the boss fight. In this phase, he can heal himself. There'll be a green attack, and you need to damage him, shoot that green while he's doing that kind of charge up in order to interrupt it and prevent him from healing. I also really like having Ring of Fire on during the boss fight because, as you can see here, it means that I can do a huge amount of damage if timed correctly when I've already wiped the area of any ads, any mobs, any zombies that have been spawned in, and I can completely tunnel vision on using my shotgun and not having to reload and blasting him in the eyeball. If he does heal, don't worry, he won't heal all the way, he'll go just over halfway, but take your time, keep whittling him down, try and make sure that you're keeping him in damage phase as much as possible because that's going to give him less opportunities to heal, and always prioritize your life at all times. Once you've successfully brought his health bar all the way down to 0, you'll finish the boss fight, you'll get a couple of rewards, and that's the end of the Easter egg. Congratulations, drop a like if this guide has been useful. I've been Mr. Waffles. I'll see you next time.